There are truths etched not in books, but in your being. Not in classrooms, but in your core. You were born with a spark of brilliance. A deep energy so potent, ancient mystics devoted their lives to attune to its rhythm. It is not new. It is not modern. It is ancient, sacred, long overlooked. And yet, in the world you live in today, it is the very first thing you're taught to ignore. Retention, the conscious practice of preserving your inner strength. The art of safeguarding the fire behind your clarity, drive, and purpose. But what begins to shift when you stop draining it? What happens after 30, 60, 90 days? The answer is not just chemical. It is cosmic. Not just physical, but spiritual. And today, you'll begin the journey into it. The ancient Greeks believed the gods lived not in the sky, but in the highest chambers of the human mind. The Hindus called it Ojas. The Taoists called it Jing. The Christian desert mystics called it divine fire. All spoke of one truth. There is a sacred energy within you that, when preserved, begins to rise, awakening clarity, purpose, and connection. The journey begins at day 1. But it is at day 30 where the veil begins to lift. In the first 30 days, you face the storm. The mind claws back, the body resists. You feel the agitation, the desire, the pull of the old self. This is the purging phase, where your system begins to clear the weight of overstimulation, old habits, and scattered energy. But something else is happening beneath the surface. The brain is recalibrating. Dopamine pathways begin to reset. The nervous system starts to settle. And with each passing day, the fire that once leaked out begins to gather again. It's no longer about holding back. It's about drawing in. The energy you once spent now fuels you. You'll notice the first sparks. Increased eye contact, better sleep, stronger posture, enhanced memory, the return of hunger, not for food, but for meaning. Like a samurai sharpening his sword, you begin to remember who you truly are. Something sacred happens at the halfway point. You begin to notice. People respond to you differently. Strangers sense your presence. You're no longer chasing attention, it's drawn to you. Why? Because your presence carries weight now. You're no longer drained by distraction. You've become a vessel of focus, a furnace of gathered energy. And slowly, your internal state begins to shape your external world. Great sages, like Bodhidharma, spoke of this moment. When the shun or spirit begins its ascent, awakening higher perception and clarity. Your voice deepens, not in tone, but in presence. Your thoughts sharpen, less scattered, more intuitive. You start waking with purpose. But the real shift? You begin to command your reality rather than simply react to it. You'll notice synchronicities, opportunities appearing at the right time, decisions flowing more naturally. And it's not magic, it's the power of retention. Because when your energy stops scattering, your awareness sharpens, and the world begins to align in unexpected ways. Here, something awakens that reaches beyond what science alone can measure. Your consciousness begins to widen. The ancient yogis described this stage as entering the ajna, the third eye center, where vision sharpens, where intuition awakens, where dreams become vivid, sometimes symbolic, sometimes startlingly insightful. You begin remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. The voice of doubt fades. The hunger for validation dissolves. And in its place, a deeper knowing rises. You realize, I was never broken. I was only distracted. This is the most pivotal phase, because now you become anchored, not aggressive, not arrogant, but still, certain, centered. Your presence begins to speak louder than words. And this is when the world will test you, with temptation, with noise, with old patterns. But you are no longer the same. You've crossed the 90-day threshold, and you've touched a deeper truth. Energy gives rise to clarity. Clarity becomes confidence. Confidence shapes influence. And influence is the first stage of destiny. Let's bring it to the level of the body now. What does modern neuroscience suggest? During periods of retention, testosterone levels may temporarily increase, potentially supporting improved mood and drive. Dopamine receptor sensitivity can begin to reset, helping with focus and reducing compulsive behaviors. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a key molecule linked to memory and learning, may also rise, supporting brain health and neuroplasticity. Stress levels often stabilize, potentially reducing excess cortisol over time. And many report enhanced function in the prefrontal cortex, the brain's center for willpower and decision-making. You may find yourself more clear-headed, composed, and aligned with your purpose. But remember, science, as advanced as it is, still measures only the surface. What's unfolding on the level of spirit is something even greater. Let me remind you, you are not the first to walk this path. Leonardo da Vinci is believed to have channeled his energy into extraordinary creative focus. Nikola Tesla reportedly abstained from relationships, pouring his essence into invention. Pythagoras emphasized celibacy among his students, believing it sharpened the higher mind. And across time, the desert fathers of early Christianity, the Tibetan monks of the Himalayas, the Shaolin warriors of China, all upheld one principle: that vital energy, when guarded, becomes a force of inner refinement. These men were not merely intelligent, they were charged, not by applause or attention, but by a fire within them few dared to protect. And now, that same fire is waking up within you. When you retain energy long enough, something begins to shift. Not just in your body, but in your presence. Some traditions teach that your energy field, the invisible atmosphere around you, grows stronger through focused living. And modern explorations, such as studies by the HeartMath Institute, suggest that the heart and brain emit measurable electromagnetic waves that respond to our emotional and energetic states. When your energy is scattered or constantly leaked, your presence can feel diluted, easily overlooked, easily influenced. But with consistent retention, that energy consolidates. It centers. It radiates. You may begin to affect rooms just by entering them. People might not know why, but they feel something. Some will admire you. Some may even feel uneasy, but all will sense something they can't explain. That is presence. And presence is power. Not because it speaks loudly, but because it cannot be ignored. Let me give you a map. Not one made of roads or directions, but of inner thresholds. A path your soul already knows. This is the battle at the gates. The body resists. The mind rebels. The old patterns claw for dominance. Here you must detox from chaos, overstimulation, and false pleasures. Stabilize your dopamine so your emotions can return, clear and grounded. Resist the cravings that once ruled you like a silent god. Restore your vitality, not from rest alone, but from sacred abstinence. Most turn back here. They confuse discomfort with danger. They retreat before rebirth. But those who remain, the veil begins to lift. Your posture changes, your presence expands. Something magnetic begins to awaken within you. You begin to feel heightened confidence, not from ego, but from alignment. A magnetic aura that draws attention without trying. Intuitive decisions, guided by instinct rather than fear. A calm assertiveness, no longer loud, but unmistakably powerful. Here, your energy starts working for you. Not wasted, not suppressed, but transmuted. Now the realm beyond thought, where the transformation becomes irreversible. You enter. Visionary clarity, seeing not just what is, but what can be. Altered perception, your reality shifts, and the trivial dissolves. Unshakable emotional control, storms arise, but you remain still. A deep inner purpose, as if your soul remembers why it came. Most never cross level 1. Fewer still rise to level 2. But the rare ones who remain faithful cross the veil. They don't just change. They return to who they truly are. And once you reach this place, you'll never go back. You were not born to scatter your energy. You were born to carry it upward, like a torch passed down by mystics, warriors, and visionaries. In a world that feeds on distraction, you must choose attention. In a time that glorifies indulgence, You must choose restraint, not because it is easy, but because it transforms you. Your energy is your birthright. Your retention is your awakening, and your transformation is inevitable. If this message spoke to you, drop a comment below saying, "I'm choosing strength daily." Now you know what happens at 30, 60, and 90 days. The real question is, are you willing to go beyond? Because beyond 90 is where those who seek mastery begin to walk a different path. And that is where everything changes.